Hey everyone, time for another episode of Three Count, and this week marked the 31st anniversary of Saturday Night's Main Event. And as a young wrestling fan, sixth grader, I longed for more wrestling throughout the week, and I got that about every 6 to 8 weeks. WWF at the time would take over Saturday Night Live spot and come up with some great wrestling, and Hulk Hogan was a central figure in all of that. And at that time, I was a big time Hulkamaniac. He was, of course, the WWF champion. And you didn't see him every week on Superstars. And this was, of course, before Raw or SmackDown or even the week or the monthly pay-per-views. Actually, back then, it was just WrestleMania. So anytime you got to see Hulk Hogan, it was a special treat for me, at least as a young fan. So I loved Saturday Night's Main Event. I wish that they would come back with that concept, with the throwback style of doing things. To me, it would be an amazing and incredible thing. So I'm going to go back and remember three of my favorite matches, and I'm not going to go in any particular order. There were so many great memories from Saturday Night's Main Event, but these kind of stood out to me today as I sat and I thought, what three matches come to mind when you think of Saturday Night's Main Event? And this one, the Macho Man Randy Savage versus the Honky Tonk Man. It was the fall of 1987. Savage had just lost the Intercontinental title to Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, who then lost it to this guy, the Honky Tonk Man, in a shocking defeat. And of course, they went at it on Saturday Night's Main Event. Elizabeth, the guitar, all got involved. Savage, boom, taken out. Then, of course, Liz runs and brings this guy in, and we have the Mega Powers. It made wrestling history. It was an amazing moment. Two mortal enemies in Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage come together thanks to Elizabeth and thanks to the nefarious actions of the Honky Tonk Man. And of course, Savage climbed the ladder to superstardom, even a bigger superstar than he was before, winning the World Heavyweight Championship, then feuding with Hulk Hogan. Savage became an icon. Not that he wasn't going to be anyway, but I think that match and that moment helped solidify his wrestling career. The other one involves Hulk Hogan again. They're all going to involve Hulk Hogan. I'm sorry, guys. The Battle Royal before WrestleMania 3. Hogan and Andre were going to gear up and go at it. And as far as us fans knew, they had never met before, even though they had really met before at Shea Stadium. But in a new world of wrestling, we didn't know that these two had a history with each other. They met in that Battle Royal right before. And I thought Hogan's going to go in there and take Andre out. They had a couple of blows at each other, but then Hogan kind of got distracted. Andre takes advantage, headbutt, tosses him over, and we think Andre's going to win. Well, then everybody teams up against him, and eventually this guy, shockingly enough, the mighty Hercules, wins that Battle Royal. Probably one of my favorite Battle Royals of all time, just because of the nostalgia factor, and I loved that time of wrestling, and it was so unpredictable, at least to me, as at that point, I guess a 13 or 14-year-old kid. My final favorite Saturday Night's Main Event memory, once again, involves Hulk Hogan, but it also involves Big Blue, the steel cage match with Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. Now, this was actually I kind of went back and forth with my Hogan fandom. At this point, I was a Mr. Wonderful guy, even though this was just months before that Battle Royal I just mentioned, and I became a Hulkamaniac once again. But this one, both Hogan, Orndorff on separate sides, come out, hit the ground at the same time. I thought Orndorff won. He should have won. Of course, no. They both touched at the same time. We got to start the match over again. Hogan eventually prevails, goes on to face Andre. Orndorff kind of fades away, and we didn't really see a whole lot of him in WWE again after that. But those are some of my Saturday Night's Main Event memories. I don't know why I keep saying live. Other standouts include Jake the Snake Roberts versus Randy Savage for the Intercontinental title, the Jake the Snake versus Ricky Steamboat match, where it didn't really actually happen. The opening match, the very first Saturday Night's Live main event, or Saturday Night's Main Event matchup, Sheik and Volkov teaming up with George the Animal Steele against Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and the U.S. Express, where he went to Mike Rotundo. We saw George the Animal Steele turn babyface that night. So lots of great memories. Uncle Elmer's wedding. I could go on and on and on, but I won't. I've gone on too much as it is. So thanks a lot for watching this video, subscribing. Don't forget to check out the JitteryMonkey.com podcast. It is my 123 Cents the podcast on iTunes, Jittery Monkey. Craft Beer Cans also right here on YouTube. I'm plugging a lot of stuff. But folks, thanks so much. I appreciate the support. It means the world to me.